everybody. We're just getting everything going. There we go. Yay, we're doing it. I hope we're doing it. There's something that says it's having trouble. Oh, it's only Facebook. Well, sorry, people in Facebook land. You're having trouble streaming. But hello to everyone else in all of your other lands. It's fantastic. So welcome everybody to the Right or Die Show. I'm your host, Randi-lee Boslaw. As you can see, I'm in the process of dyeing my hair. I have stripped the color, sort of, kind of out of it. So my friend, my very good friend, she gave me some wicked awesome hair dye, and she's like, I thought I was gonna do like a fire hair thing, but it's not gonna work. But you could pull off anything. So I started, and I'm going. So I have a red, orange, and yellow. I think the red I'm just going to hold off and just do all bright red one day because cool. But the yellow and orange, I'm like, I want to kind of do maybe orange on top and then yellow like on the underneath or vice versa. I don't know, something. I want to do it like soon.
Orange on top, yellow in the bottom.
Yeah, orange on top, yellow on the bottom. Okay, see. So that's why I have to say it to the big wide world so that somebody can answer me. And do you know who that somebody is? That is our guest of the day. I didn't ask her how to say her name, but I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens because it looks like it's easy, but who knows. So it is Sandy Malone. Woo! We did it. She shook her head yes.
Yes, first try.
So before we get to that, I need to do my remembering of telling everybody our movie updates. So movie updates, I'm working on the Kickstarter. Yay, we can all support the movie. It'll be fantastic. So the Kickstarter should be up soon. Obviously, I will announce that when it is done. So for those who are just tuning in, the movie that I keep saying, it's called Goodbye Too Soon, the movie, based on the book Goodbye Too Soon, based on the true life story of my brother's death by drug overdose. Oh, boo, sad. It's been a while. I'm over it. Yeah, let's say that. Right? You can roll your eyes at me. It's fine. So it is coming along nicely. The script is completely done. It's locked in. I finished the shot list today. That is locked in. And now it is a matter of getting the Kickstarter going because, guys, we need help with that. My husband keeps going, how much is it going to cost me? I'm like, I'm going to raise money for it. And he's like, okay, how much is it going to cost me? And I'm like, shut up. It's going to be fantastic, though. And, of course, it is such an important topic. We need to talk about addiction. We need to talk about grieving. We need to talk about loss. And we need to talk about mental health as a whole in general. So stay tuned for more information about that. And like I said, the Kickstarter, if I say it lots of times, y'all will remember to do it. And then y'all will go and support. And that'll be fantastic. And I will love you all forever. So without further ado, Sandy, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on today.
We've already had a lot of fun chat. I told her that I could tell we were going to have fun because we had some vibes going on, which, that's what's important here. You got good vibes and you got good flow. So you already asked me where I was at, and I saved that question to be on air because where are you visiting us from?
I live on Jekyll Island, Georgia. Have you ever heard of it?
I have not.
Okay. We're a little bitty island, coastal island, a barrier island, on the south end of Georgia, just above the Florida line.
Oh.
And we're next to St. Simon's Island. It's a little better known. And then Sea Island, where Jeffrey Epstein used to hang out.
Oh,
No, okay, here you go. Fun facts. And I bet like whoever's in charge of tourism for this region, if they see this stuff, they've got to be like, shut up.
But if they do, then that means we've made it big time because they're watching it.
Okay, so the Brunswick airport here, which I've not flown out of ever, we always have to drive to Jacksonville or Savannah, is it's little, but Delta flies into it. And it's there, and I've never been there. I've never had anybody fly in or out of it. And but guess what is there? Dun dun dun. The Lolita Express. The airplane that Jeffrey Epstein used to fly everybody to and from the island. The last time he was arrested, it was at the Brunswick airport getting some work done on it. Now, apparently the engines have been removed and they've been sold, but the interior is there. Ew. And anyway, our local newspaper a couple months ago wrote this article that had me howling because they just released a bunch of the Epstein stuff. Yeah. And apparently that man spent a lot of money and a lot of time in this area. And he was over on Sea Island, which is, the little more expensive area. And but we got to see everything he spent here. And now we know he was a Fuse frozen yogurt fan. Yeah,
Oh.
he hit there all the time. Southern Soul Barbecue was a favorite. We saw his credit card charges at local businesses. It's just very weird to know that like evil lurked among us.
Right? Right?
And he left his airplane here.
That's really creepy. Somebody will make a movie about that someday or write a book.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's there.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Exactly. So we are located just north of Florida. And no, we are not famous for Jeffrey Epstein. He was over on another island. Okay. But we're a little bitty island. We're only 7 miles by 1 mile. And it's just got this amazing history because the island used to be the home of a winter escape for the rich and actually the millionaires of America.
Oh.
The Rockefellers, the Pulitzers, the Astors, the Goodyears. I mean, the list goes on and on. They all had memberships. They built the Jekyll Island Club together.
Whenever you say Jekyll, I'm thinking of
I know Jekyll
Mr.
and Hyde.
Hyde.
I know. This is named after like a lord from England. Had to do with the whole grant of it, and I should know what the history of it is. Nobody call me on it. I'll go reread it. I've read it before. Anyway,
Google's for.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's where the Jekyll came from. But this is really cool because a lot of people know about us, but they don't know they know about us. So these millionaires in the Gilded Age, literally what you're watching on TV right now, I bet you we are going to be a future season because they were down here in the winter. So you know how they did New York and they did Rhode Island? They have not filmed here yet. But this is where those families came in right after Christmas and they would spend the winter here. They'd come down on their yachts and you had to take the little boat. It was a private boat they had. It wasn't a ferry at that time. To and from. And they had hunting and they called it their year-round beach resort. And it was really, truly the golden age. And when the club got too popular, and it was crazy, like the Carnegies, I think they were mad at the Pulitzer, so they just bought the next island south. Seriously, that's Cumberland Island where JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette got married. There's like the next island south of us. And so Jekyll Island was like this private millionaires island. And when too many millionaires came and the originals were feeling crowded, they went and built their own villas along Millionaires Row. But the cool thing is most of the houses don't have any kitchens because they just stayed in the residences, but they went to the club to take their meals.
Oh, of course.
The club to take their meals.
If I was that rich, I would too.
Darling, the coolest thing is though, I mean, this was really neat. This was straight out of Gilded Age. And I mean, I live it. So anyway, so this hotel, well, what's the hotel now? It was the club, and then these millionaire cottages, the Goodyear Cottage, the Rockefeller Cottage, that's Cherokee Cottage. A lot of them have different names, but these cottages were built, and some of them were the most expensive construction in their day that had ever been done. Famous things. Faith Chapel, like this really cool chapel, which wasn't the original because I believe the original was moved, and that had to do with around desegregation. But
oh yeah.
Well, the island actually played a very interesting role in African American history too, but that's a totally
right. So that's a separate thing. We eventually have to get to the show.
Yeah.
Eventually.
So, yeah, exactly. So anyway, the island is just so cool. But what happened was, World War II. All right. First off, the Federal Reserve Act was created at the Jekyll Club, in the what is now the Federal Reserve Room, and it was created in the dark of night, like in secrecy. It was a hunting trip. Nobody knew these men were down here. And what became the U.S. banking system was all created here. All kinds of really cool things like that happened. World War II happened. And when they started blowing up merchant ships along the U.S. coast, which is why we now have an intercoastal waterway that runs along the coast, because they were blowing up merchant ships. And the U-boats, the German submarines, blew up several U.S. merchant ships right off our coastline along here. That set off alarms because at the time that happened, 1/6 of the world's wealth was gathered here on Jekyll Island. They were all members.
That's insane.
And somebody realized, okay, we've just recovered from the crash. We ain't going to bounce back.
Yeah.
If they blow up this island. And so they evacuated practically overnight, and it was insane because, again, they had to take boats to get them off. Their yachts are all parked out there. Most of them could not go that way because of the U-boats and everything else. and they evacuated the island. And there were some caretakers who stayed behind, and there were some funny stories because the military used it for like watch it posts and stuff.
Yeah.
St. Simon's Island next door was the military airport and more stuff like that. But when World War II was over, the millionaires prepared to come back and take their property back, right? And the new governor of Georgia at the time handed them a check and said, sorry, we took your island by eminent domain. It's a state park now.
Amazing. I actually really like that ending.
And I live here now. There are only 600 houses on the island. There's the Jekyll Club Hotel, and some of the millionaires' villas are actually accommodations now where you can rent them for like weddings and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And then there's also like, I don't want to say normal hotels. There's a Westin, there's the Marriott brands, the Hilton brands, all that stuff. But they are conveniently located on the other end of the island from me.
That makes sense.
It is so cool. So it's teeny weeny island, and we have no traffic lights. And we have one traffic circle, but if your RV is too big, don't try to go around it. We have alligators, but we've never had an alligator bite because we're all smart enough to leave them alone. We are a shark nursery, which is pretty cool.
I love that.
But we don't have any shark bites on record. One fisherman reported one, and then it turned out that he'd actually pulled the shark into his boat because he wanted that hook back. And so that got taken off the books as a shark bite and written down as like a Darwin Award.
Right? You're just, yeah.
But, so the sharks get jiggy here, and then they go to North Carolina and Florida to eat people.
Hey, whatever. Go over there and do it. Keep it off your books.
Anyway, so I started out as a political reporter and columnist, and I ended up going into lobbying and public affairs in D.C., where I was originally from. And
I was going to say, because you don't sound like you have a Georgian accent. So.
I am not Southern. I am a Yankee, and the girls remind me on a regular basis. I'm learning. I am. Part of it is controlling my potty mouth.
Good luck with that.
Southern girls don't swear like Northern girls.
I'm aware because the closer you go north, like Canada, we swear a lot.
Well, it's cold.
Our favorite word at my day job starts with an F, ends in an uck.
My last job, I was an editor of a publication, and we all had stacks of sticky notes that said "F it."
Oh my gosh! For Christmas this past year, there's only 5-6 of us in the office, something like that. So I got everybody these sticky notes, and it's like, I used my last fuck for this, or go fucking ask someone else. Like, they each had their own little quote.
I don't know how much I can reach from here, but do you see what I have on my desk?
It looks like maybe like a last fucks jar. Yeah.
Actually, they're fucks to give.
Oh, fucks to give. Okay,
So
I was close.
once in a while, when a friend is having a really horrible day,
you'll give them a fuck.
I will give them one.
That is fantastic.
Sometimes you have to remind your friends that their garden is empty and they are out of them. And here's your spare. Put it in your pocket. My friend Claire carries it in the drink holder in her car.
I love it.
You never know when you're going to need a spare one.
Exactly. I actually appreciate that, especially in this day and age, which sort of can come full circle about the show. Oh, because when we're at our wits' end with whatever is happening, we have no more F's to give. So that brings us to what you're going to talk about. So originally, when Sandy filled out the form, I was like, oh, okay, we're going to talk about ADD and we're going to talk about anxiety. Cool.
I mean, we can.
I mean, and we still can, but, you might just have to come back. Because then she dropped a bombshell right before we were going to air. And she's like, oh, yeah, I lost my mom last year and Alzheimer's and grief. And I was like, oh, you know what? We really haven't had somebody talk about, what was it, perimenopause and Alzheimer's and all that stuff. I mean, we've talked about grief, but I don't think in the 5 years we've been doing this that Alzheimer's has come up and dealing with somebody that you love and watching that take them from you. So I was like, you know what? Let's talk about that. And she's like, okay, let's talk about that. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So now it's your turn. Let's do it. And I'm just going to interrupt you.
Yeah, no. My mom died the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, year. American Thanksgiving, I'm going to guess, because I have to get my dates right.
Yes, American Thanksgiving.
So November.
When is yours?
October. Second weekend of October.
Y'all just had to be first.
Yeah, obviously.
Hey, I learned something from a Canadian wedding guest. He said, "Do you know why Canadians say eh?
I don't.
Because it's nicer than saying asshole."
You know what? I love that, and I'm going to share that with people and be like, yeah, that is why I'm saying it now. Well, my new favorite saying, I saw this on TikTok. There we are then.
That one's been coming around at me. A couple of my friends have used that lately.
Yeah. Well, because see you next Tuesday, everybody knows, right? So there we are then.
There we are then.
I did it to my husband. He hadn't seen the TikTok yet, and I had done it to my husband like all night long. He's like, why do you keep saying this? I'm like, 'cause there we are then.
I had a wedding vendor in Puerto Rico. I ran destination weddings for 11 years on Vieques Island, just off the coast of Puerto Rico.
Oh, nice.
And I had a wedding vendor who, she was ill, we eventually learned. But initially, she was just being a bitch. And her text messages and her emails were awful. And we didn't know anything was wrong. So I'm like, okay, giant attitude problem. And we get this email one day that makes no sense at all. I had said to her, like, if you can't keep the brides on schedule, I'm going to have to use somebody else or something like that, right?
Okay, yeah.
And it was all very professional and nice. We stayed friends after. But her reply to it was, so we move on, ... I will be. Now, obviously, she did not complete her thought. She hit send too soon or she was on medication. I don't know what it was.
Maybe a little both.
But when we got the message in the office, we didn't know she was sick, right? Instead, it was the most hilarious email from a vendor that year, and it ended up being written across the top of the whiteboard.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
And it became, so now that it's been easily 15 years, and that lady's been dead for like 10. And every
My.
time I talk to or see, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different people that worked with us and are still friends, somewhere in the conversation, so we move on, I will be. Or you just, if you haven't talked to one of them in a while, you just send them a message on Facebook that says, so we move on, and you will get, I will be.
Oh my gosh,
I
I
know.
love that so much, so very much. All right, back to it. So, we're American Thanksgiving.
A little ADD, I'm just proving it. Go ahead.
Well, it doesn't help because I'm autistic, right? So I'm also right there with you on this roller coaster, and 20 minutes in, and we're getting there. Hey,
We're going to have to play more often, Randy. This is
I
just
told
not
you you're
enough.
allowed to come back. I told
Okay.
you. Because we got vibes, remember?
Vibes.
Okay, so Thanksgiving, November.
All right. So
Let's
mom
go.
died the day before Thanksgiving, but she'd had Alzheimer's, and it was like very long story, very short. We moved down to Jekyll Island because my mother had just been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. She was taking care of my stepfather in hospice at home. We were spending, with 6 grandchildren in the DC area. We wanted to stay up there. That's where we'd gone after Hurricane Maria wiped out my wedding business. We'd gone home. We had a condo in DC. Like, we were so lucky. We were in the condo in DC when the hurricane hit. We helped do emergency rescues, getting people off Vieques Island because all of Puerto Rico was dark. All of Puerto Rico was in an emergency. So nobody cared about little Vieques and Culebra Islands off the coast. Like, next problem. Right. They did not get power back for 17 months.
Holy crap.
When my husband and I went back to meet the movers, and I think it was 14 months after the storm, we were still on generators. I mean, and we had said we're not moving back till there's power. Like, if that makes me, like, privileged, I don't care. I owned a condo back in DC that had air conditioning, power, all the things. I did not need to sit down there and sweat. I mean, because we couldn't have weddings. The company, I had to close. I had to cancel 2 years of weddings. I cried with every bride.
Holy crap.
We couldn't get insurance because the hospital got flattened. That was in 2017, and it just opened like 6 months ago.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And yet nobody really heard about it. Like,
There were some reports on it, but Puerto Rico
not enough. You know,
Puerto
not
Rico
enough.
was such a big mess. Like, all of Puerto Rico. That Vieques was like a little bitty thing. Like, there were literally bodies rotting in containers in San Juan from that hurricane.
Oh my gosh.
People died in the mountains. People died on the Big Island. It was actually worse in those places because the people who live on Vieques and Culebra were used to storms. We're used to losing power.
Right.
I wasn't there. And all the houses, Hurricane Hugo in 1989 flattened Vieques. If it wasn't concrete, it was gone. So I'd say 80% of the rebuilds are brick. And anything that, or not brick, sorry, concrete. And
Yeah,
anything that
yeah.
wasn't concrete, again, was gone after Hurricane Maria. And we had
That's
to, yeah,
crazy.
we helped coordinate medical evacuations from the island. There's a lot of people, like H&R Block family, Freya Block, and, oh golly, the founders of Subway Sub Shops. Her name
Okay.
was Ide Heidi. She was Miss Puerto Rico or Miss San Juan a million years ago. Nicest lady,
Oh, that's
retired.
cool.
Her
That's
husband, yeah,
very
they had a big
cool.
house down there. Well, they were all willing to send in jets. Like everybody sent in planes, but it couldn't right away because the runway. Like it was just
Oh,
the
yeah. Yeah,
whole
yeah.
airport was flattened. Like not flattened. I shouldn't say that. It was like they ripped the top off of it, which was almost worse.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a hot mess and we couldn't go back. And fortunately, we were up in our condo in DC because we were up north for our own anniversary. And we were like, okay. And I'm not super religious, but I do believe in the whole like theory God shuts a door and he opens a window.
Yeah.
Because we made a reality TV show on TLC called Wedding Island. And we only did one season because we used my real clients.
Yeah.
And first off, for me, it was a massive struggle because production wanted to screw with their weddings. And
Oh.
I only signed on for it and convinced my real clients to do it because it was supposed to be completely unscripted. Nobody would mess with it. I don't
Yeah.
care if production doesn't like the fact that all white weddings are in style. You're not
Yeah.
going to make the bride have pops of color by adding food coloring to the water in her floating candle vases while I'm not looking.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would lose it.
Also, they wouldn't let me talk to clients who weren't on camera. All right, so you understand we filmed 12 weddings, right? So I only had like another 80 clients that for 66 days of filming, I was expected to ignore. And I couldn't talk to potential clients unless they were willing to be filmed. And do you know any bride who's willing to be filmed while she's discussing how much she can afford to spend for her
Oh,
wedding?
hell no.
Hell no. So I couldn't book new clients. My business model was like 50% of my fee up front, 50% 30 days prior to your wedding
Okay.
date
Okay.
based on what your final budget was.
Yeah.
And for the 66 days I was filming, I couldn't book new clients. It was just, it didn't,
That's a disaster.
I couldn't have been running and everything took 4 times as long. Like
Yeah.
I thought they were just going to come film me doing weddings, right? I
Yeah.
didn't understand that if I had to be at a wedding rehearsal, it required a 30-minute warning for everybody to load up the caravan. There were 70 people on my production crew.
Oh
They
my
came
gosh.
straight from filming the last episode of Jersey Shore. Randy, you can't make this shit up.
That's too much. No, no. That's too
So
much.
anyway, yeah. So we did this TV show. And then after that, I'm just going to say it. Wedding guests got drunker and more aggressive and more in my face because they made me seem kind of on the TV show.
Right, I could see that. Yeah.
And then, so, I mean, like, honest to God, I'd done 10 years of weddings before some jackass picked me up and threw me in the pool while I was wearing thousands of dollars in electronics.
Holy moly.
It was just things like that. And I didn't sign up for this to be abused. But I had a problem because I had 2 years of weddings booked, right? And before the TV show, I might have been able to sell the company to somebody else. But after the TV show, the brides were hiring me.
Yes. Okay.
So
that
if I
makes
was like,
sense.
hey, I sold it to this chick named Randy, she's really good, you could be the best wedding planner in the world, but the brides will freak out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
'Cause
I
that's
didn't-
not who they hired.
Right. And my husband and I were getting older. I was getting tired. And I could have kept doing it back in the real world, but doing it in a place where there's no linen company, there was no linen rental, there was no lighting company. The rental company was so, pick the right word because I really like them, but ineffective. Like they weren't usually on time. You didn't always
Okay.
get the shape of table you had ordered. Things like that. We ended up having to buy most of it and become our own rental company. And so, yeah, planning weddings back here would have been a lot easier, But at the same time, I was just... My TV show, Bridezillas, I think a lot of things contributed to a different attitude with couples, which might make for great reality TV, but it's absolutely miserable for the wedding planner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so God shut the door and opened the window. I went back to writing because I'd been a writer. I wrote for the Wall Street Journal and
Right,
campaigns.
yeah, that's what you said. You were a journal before.
Yeah, I was a
Yeah,
journalist. And then I switched into lobbying and public affairs, and Vieques was a big client. I was one of the lead media strategists to help kick the U.S. Navy off Vieques Island in 1999, because I'm aging myself, but they used to practice bombing there. And, right. So, it was really cool, and I pretty much lived down there. And I got so attached to the island, and when it wasn't a client anymore, and by the way, we did kick the Navy off. Not necessarily the best thing for Puerto Rico, but that's what the client wanted. And I kept going back on vacation. My mom fell in love with Vieques, and then when I started dating Bill, he went down with me, and he likes to joke that if he hadn't loved it as much as I did, that we wouldn't have gotten married.
Oh, that's funny.
So we ended up getting married on Vieques Island. And then a year later, we bought a vacation house there. And see, he was a SWAT commander, and he was he was a captain by then. And he had a lot of leave built up, and I helped him burn it. And I could work from anywhere by then. Yeah, I had one of the original hot spots. It was very cool. And I thought I was the star. I thought I was the shit back then. And it was this amazing, kind of thing. But everything went away. Like everything we worked so hard, because when he retired.
That's got to be really devastating. Like as much as obviously you're talking about it now, we're laughing and, it got you out the door. It must have been really hard at the time.
It was scary because that had been our primary residence for 11 years. Yeah. And we didn't hear from anybody for a couple of days. And then when we did, it was like when Yaya got a text out. She's my bestie, standing on top of a wall at the fort, like the Statue of Liberty, to get a signal. Until Elon Musk put up balloons, it was horrible. And we got, true story, my Facebook rang one night. And I think I had ever only taken one or two Facebook phone calls ever, Yeah. Who the hell is this? Mm-hmm. It was a girl on top of a mountain in Vieques in labor calling me for help. And we managed to get a hold of the Red Cross and get a helicopter in there. And the baby was born, and they stayed in touch, and we got pictures.
Oh, I love that.
I know, so good things happened, too.
Right?
But a lot of people died because dialysis couldn't happen. People who needed to go to the Big Island for medical treatment couldn't get out for a while.
Oh, my gosh.
And so I went back to writing.
I love that. Okay. Just because obviously we're just gonna have to tell Mickey that you have to come back because we're running out of time. But that's okay.
I know my ADD is showing.
That's okay. Like I said, you'll just be a 2-parter, maybe a 3-parter. We'll see. Wouldn't be the first time I've had a guest come back and back and back and back and back and back and yeah. Anyways, you get the point. Okay, so November.
My mom died. Okay, so my mom had Alzheimer's. We moved down here so we could be closer because we were on I-95 putting out fires like on a regular basis, right? Yeah. She was taking care of my stepdad, but she was still driving. Things were going okay. Watching it. My grandma had Alzheimer's. She died at like 94, curled up in a ball in a nursing home. Oh. My great aunt had Alzheimer's. And my mom and I visited her every week for 16 years.
You kind of maybe knew it was coming a little bit.
You do, but you don't. But you do, but you don't.
Right?
My mom knew what was coming. She had her estate set up. She knew. She just...
You don't want to believe it, though.
Well, in 2018, when she did all her legal paperwork and got everything ready, she knew what was coming. In 2022, when she finally had to talk to me about it, when it wasn't something she could avoid talking about, she was angry and didn't want to deal with it. And unfortunately, wasn't able to remember a lot of the arrangements she's made. But thank God everything was in one place. So once she turned it over to me, I could get to the bottom of it. But
that's amazing for her. Like, to be that organized, even though, like, you know that something absolutely horrific is coming. To be so well prepared, that is so good for her.
She had a document in her estate that I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know how common this is, but I've never seen it before. You've got all these kinds of documents. You have the power of attorney. There's a durable power of attorney. There's the healthcare power of attorney. Yeah. There's all these different things. There was one more document that superseded everything, like basically said, if I am diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's and try to change my daughter's name, this document supersedes that. My daughter's name cannot be changed.
Oh.
And I think she anticipated it because my grandmother had gotten so difficult for a period of time. And, fortunately, my step grandfather was there to sort of fill in the gap.
Yeah.
But with my mom, I can't even tell you. Maybe because we were so much alike and we screamed and yelled at each other. I'm not going to pretend my mom and I didn't argue. If I did, you would have like 50 new people reaching out to you to be like, I heard her yell at her mom.
It happened all the time.
Oh my gosh. My friend Courtney teases me as an adult that when we were little girls, our beach houses were across the street from each other. And apparently you used to be able to hear it when my mother brushed my hair in the morning.
Oh, I hated when my mom brushed my hair because they would just yanking and it's like it hurts and stuff.
I had really long, thick hair. She would
Me
let
too.
me cut, right? And she used to, I was never allowed to wear it down. And she always put it up in these super tight ponytails and then she'd braid it. And then I'd be at the beach all day and I would get so much
Your
hair.
head would hurt.
But I'd have sand in my scalp. Like, swear to God, we go back to school Labor Day. In October, you'd still be finding sand in the bed from my scalp. And anyway, so, but she would brush it. I would yell. Courtney would laugh across the street. Memories. But, so mom, it was tough. And my mom wasn't accepting of it, but she was happy we moved down here. A couple weeks after we moved here, her maid calls, found my mom collapsed. Yeah. We go rushing down. She's in the hospital. My husband goes and stays with my stepdad because he's got to have 24-hour care. And my mother had fired every bit of help we ever sent in. And, oh my God, yeah. No, there was one where she answered the door and just said, not you, and slammed it in her face. So then all the care companies started firing us because she was uncooperative.
I could see that. Yeah, that's
My mom ran a psych hospital for 15 years. She wasn't going to let anybody push her around.
Oh my
She
God.
knew all the buzzwords too. So when she was like in her worst dementia time, if she wanted like somebody to think somebody was horrible, she knew what words to use. She was good.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah,
So like there was this few months where, okay, mom lost her noodle. Like I got to the ER that day. She was having a full conversation with my grandmother who's been dead 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turned out she'd had a grossly long series of UTIs where maybe she wasn't completing her medication. And it had gotten really, really bad. She was terribly sick. She was in the hospital for weeks. We had to move my stepdad into respite care because, hello, I'm one person, right?
Oh,
Meanwhile, we just moved into the house on Jekyll Island. We had contractors in here ripping out floors. Right. Like everything, one time, like literally all at the same time.
That is how my life works, so I get it.
Right. So we get my mom out of the hospital. She's doing better. And now she's PO'd because she wants us to bring Dan home from hospice. And I'm not thinking that's the best idea. I'm thinking Dan needs to be in hospice. Did I mention he was in hospice for, I kid you not, 27 months? Anyway, he wasn't going to die. I had friends volunteering to go in through the window, okay? It was just awful. He'd had a stroke and hadn't been able to talk in like 7 years.
Oh my
And it
gosh.
it escalated my mom's progression because she was exhausted. And
Exactly.
so anyway, we put Dan in hospice. He seemed very comfortable there. And mom got out. And 2 days later, as she was visiting with him at hospice, he died. You know that was my fault, right? Because if I had never put him in hospice facility, he would not have died.
Obviously, that's how life works. How
Clearly.
dare you?
I know, clearly. Now, enter the crazy neighbors. She starts telling her neighbor friends who don't really know us, because even though we're in town all the time, we are antisocial with her neighborhood. There's a million reasons, but 90% of it is the fact that I'm still working full time. And I'm down there trying to like put out fires, and my husband's running around doing errands. And we don't want to drink wine with your neighbors. We don't like wine. Anyway, I'm sorry. But, it's like, Mom, we're here to hang out with you. We're not here to entertain all your neighbors. Yeah. I now know that was against the rules. You're supposed to let your parents show you off. But Mom's neighbor.
I mean, she was proud of you.
Well, a couple bonkers neighbors tried to get a little too involved. And next thing you know, Mom's just, they took her drinking, which was not a good idea. Swear to God, true story. The night after my stepfather died, she came in and smacked me. She like attacked me with a Kate Spade purse.
Well, I mean, at least she picked a nice one.
It's the only thing she's ever hit me with that wasn't a wooden spoon or a hairbrush.
Oh, yeah, the wooden spoon.
Oh, please. She carried one in the glove compartment. Anyway, so my mom ended up in assisted living up here on the next island over, St. Simon's. Not because I didn't want her here. We don't have assisted living on Jekyll. I would have moved her. We have a guest house on our property, and that's where I thought my mom would go when the time came. However, mom was bonkers. She had to go into the hospital and kind of get everything sorted out because when my stepdad died, it was sort of that one little, the doctor said the little thread that held her to reality and a schedule every day just snapped. And once we got her into the hospital, she convinced somebody that she was of sound mind. Again, ran a psych hospital, knows the words, right?
Yep.
So some nursing assistant loaned her a phone. She called an uncle of mine she hadn't talked to in 10 years, told him I'd stolen all of her money, and picked her up with a black helicopter on the front lawn. True story. Instead of calling me, which made perfect sense, because my husband's like a police captain. At the time, I was the editor of Blue Lives Matter, the Police Tribune. And I'd called him 3 weeks earlier to let him know mom was sick, right?
Yeah.
We're not close, but I was being polite. Could have called me. No, he called the police department, called in a welfare check on my mother because she said she was being held hostage.
Oh, my gosh.
And then he called I don't know if he did it. Somebody called Georgia and Florida and reported me for elder abuse. Oh, it was fabulous. We got investigated, not one, but 2 states. Now, my mom got well. Like, the thing is, it just takes a lot longer for somebody with dementia to recover from a UTI.
Okay.
Like, after all those bad UTIs, her brain was scrambled. The doctor said she'd lost like 60% of her cognitive ability. And she eventually got about half of what she'd lost back, but it took about 6 months. And over that time, as she's starting to realize what she did, oh my God. Because by then, my uncles were contesting my guardianship of her. It cost $50,000 for me to get guardianship of the woman who named me as her guardian in the paperwork. Because it doesn't matter how good your estate is.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to challenge it, they can.
Yeah.
So we won that war. Mom finally settled in at assisted living. She was going on cruises with us. She had a boyfriend down the hall named Steed, like a horse.
Steed.
He was 93. I know. And so we'd go like, nay! Yes, and my mother would giggle. She'd giggle hysterically because she's like 79. And I'm like, one time I was in a hallway with her. I was going to meet her, and she came to her door coming from Steed's room, and she'd forgotten her key in Steed's room. And I went back with her to get it, and I had to climb under the bed to get it. And I was like, Mom, we need to talk about your lack of skill at the walk of shame.
I don't know. I think at that point, it's like the walk of triumph for her.
I know, but it's so much fun because my mom was such an etiquette person. And there were such rules. And the words that she used for me when I was a teenager in Catholic girls' school in D.C., I used the words at her as an adult, and she would just giggle and giggle. I'd be like, Mom, everyone's going to think you're a trollop.
I love that.
And you cannot be a Jezebel.
Oh my gosh, yes, a Jezebel.
I know. And she'd giggle. And then, she's 89, so you couldn't make her giggle too hard or then she'd wet herself. But it was like, Mom became my best friend again. We got over that ugly hump. My grandma had an ugly hump too, but I was in Puerto Rico during most of it. So Mom got to deal with that. But my grandma was the nicest thing in the world once she got over the hump. So is my mom. My mom was. It was awesome. It took a year. 6 months to get out of the dark. And a year total because of the legal battle we had to fight because of those her dark days. Mm-hmm. But everything was great. And last year I was out at Author Nation and I was all excited because I was coming back and I had a new book coming out on Black Friday. And I got a phone call that my mom had a seizure. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't get straight back because the government was shut down and the air traffic controllers were being difficult. Mm-hmm. So we deadhead drove back. My girlfriend Roselle ran to the emergency room to meet my mom's ambulance so she wouldn't be scared and alone. And 3 hours later, a really rude, heartless doctor walked in the room and was like, did you ever smoke? You have brain tumors. You have tumors in your lungs. All in one. I mean, it was horrible. It was really fast. We were all on the phone. It was like, you're kidding me, right? And we were driving back. And got back, and I had 1 week with my mom.
Wow. Well, at least you had that week.
I did, but she didn't know she was dying.
Oh.
Because she has Alzheimer's. So they told her. And then, like, every couple of minutes, she has no idea. Yeah. And she wasn't in any pain till the last few days.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah, but I couldn't say all the things you want to say, like goodbyes.
Right.
Or I'm sorry that I was probably the most difficult teenager in the free world.
I think we all are, though.
And all the nasty words I used and all the ungrateful things I did. and how great she was? Like, can I take back all the times I told her I hated her? You know, I mean, I was awful. We didn't, I never like hit my mom or anything, but I used words like weapons.
Yeah.
And then she was gone. And I don't know, like 4 days before she died, we're still talking about my book launch that Friday. And I don't know how long she's going to live, right?
Yeah.
And the Jekyll Club Hotel is hosting my book launch on Black Friday. And they'd built an entire Christmas market around it.
Oh
And
my gosh.
my friend Claire is their in-house event director, and she put it together.
Yeah.
Her husband had a stroke a few days before it.
Oh my
So
gosh.
she's at the ICU with him, and it was up to like a couple of us girlfriends who were involved in the market, and then we just had to do it. So Black Friday, I was sitting there signing books for like 8 hours at 2 different venues, being like, "Hi," and half the people were like, "Hey, how's your mom? She's dead. Do you want to read book 5? Thank you for asking."
Oh my gosh.
It was
Okay,
awful
so
because you start to cry and then you're a mess.
right? I want to dissect this just for a hot second because this is something my husband and I have talked about before. Like when you have this big event and then somebody dies, because it happens with, sports stars and actors and all the different people or whatever. And we have always said to each other, well, if you died, yes, I'd be devastated, but I have this event, I'm still going to go to it. So I'm it kind of makes me feel good that you went to it, because I'm like, hey, I'm not the only person that would still go, even though it would be the hardest thing ever right after something like that. But like, it's planned, it's for you. And for me, I would go, well, whomever died, if it was my mom or whatever, she'd probably be so mad at me if I didn't.
Oh, my mom would have been furious if I had canceled the book launch.
Exactly.
Like she didn't understand she was dying, right? So she wanted me to go get dresses and bring them in for her to try on for the book launch.
Oh my gosh.
And
That's
see,
amazing.
when we first got the diagnosis, I asked her, because she'd forgotten, but her best friend died of cancer, and she remembered that. And I said, hey, Mom, if this thing we're in here for turns out to be a big deal, would you rather be like Ginny and get 3 more years but be really sick the whole time, or would you rather bust out of here, have 6 weeks, and, go on an amazing trip?
Yeah.
And my mom was like, oh, book a cruise tomorrow. I don't want to, And then the conversation, it actually was there were aspects of the Alzheimer's that were cool during that.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have to keep talking about something hard.
Yeah.
But then she was gone. And I didn't get a chance. And I would say I never considered canceling the event. I considered canceling the event a week out. When I realized my mom was being put in hospice.
Yeah.
But then there were too many people that had put money, time, and resources behind me. And my mom raised me to hold my head high, keep my face at I was raised by a society family. Like my mom's family built large parts of Montgomery County around Washington, D.C. Our name is on a lot of things. And my family, my mom's family owned a chain of funeral homes in the DC suburbs. And my mom did not have a relationship with her father. But it didn't stop us from going to the funeral home all the freaking time, because we were Pumphrey's, and it's Pumphrey's funeral home. So every time anybody we knew died, we had to go pay our respects. And normal kids don't have to do that, but I'm here to tell you that if you're related to a funeral home family, they make you go to everything. And so I grew up and understand that we weren't always wanted where we went. Most of the time it was fine, but there was family, right? But my mom taught me that going or staying home because you're scared or because other people don't want you there isn't an option in that regard. And so I think that with regard to something like this, a death, my mom would say, well, you're not going to bury me on Friday anyway. Why would you want to do this for everybody? Why would you want to ruin all this stuff? What if the Jekyll Club never wants to throw another event for you? Like, if ever I got a free pass, my mommy died. But my mom would not have approved. So I held my head high. I did everything possible. And like I said, people were asking about my mom. How's she doing? They heard through the grapevine. I'm an author on a really little island. And a lot of people came because it was a book release. And they like my books.
Yeah.
And they were so kind. And I couldn't truly accept. I said to a lot of people, thank you so much. I'm not accepting condolences until I get through my book launch this weekend.
Oh, that's such a good way to say it.
And they understood. I mean, there were some where I couldn't help it, but I did my best. And if you cry on the book, you can't give it to them. You have to keep it.
It's
I'm
true.
not
Yeah.
joking. I can't like boo-hoo and make ink run or make pages look
Right? And then you have
yucky.
little spots on them. I get it.
Seriously, I know this
Yeah.
sounds really childish and small, but I don't know all these people. They
Right?
came to buy a book. I don't need them being like, ew, and then she cried on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe people are nicer than that, but I just would have wanted my mom to be able to be in heaven being like, yep, she's got this. I just knew she was like, you got this. Just hold your head high.
Right.
4 more
That's
hours.
my daughter. You see that one right there? Yeah, that one's mine.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, this is what we do here. I love that. I think I would have done the same thing. Went through it because if not, then what is your appearance going to be like? People are going to notice that you're not there, right? Things like that. And so you.
It would have been
You do
worse. What am I going to do? My mom died, social media, nobody gets to go to this giant event because Claire's husband's in the hospital too. And if I walk out, we're all just screwed. No, I mean, you just pull up your big girl panties and you soldier through it.
Yeah.
It just sucks. And now when I want to call and complain about something that's me really upset, I don't have my mom to call.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't that far gone in Alzheimer's. She couldn't live alone or be trusted to take her meds or that kind of stuff, but she could hold her own.
Yeah.
She still loved to socialize. So I'm
Which
sorry.
is fantastic. Yeah, when my Nana started to go, it was like you would be talking to her, and then as soon as you would leave the room and come back, she'd be like, "Oh, who are you again?" And then she could hold the conversation, but as soon as you left out of sight and then came back, "Oh, who are you again?" And it's like, "Oh, Nana."
Well, I don't know if it's it's not the bright side, but interestingly, because of that December thing, like I had to suck it up for a week, kind of. I mean, it was really
Yeah.
just a weekend, and then we had her funeral the next week. And I had all these book events. I had TV appearances, morning shows I canceled because no way, right?
Yeah.
I did a few things. I still haven't followed up with some of the shops because I'm still so embarrassed I bailed. I need to get back in touch. But it's been a rough year. And so anyway, in January, I realized I had a problem. I can talk about my mom now without crying. We just talked about like her dying.
Yeah.
But I couldn't for like a while. I couldn't talk about. I was really, I don't know if depression, but I was lost. And
Makes sense. Sounds like you were
Excuse me.
really That's okay. Sounds like you were really close to her though.
it was. And I didn't spend as much time with her as I should have because she aggravated the crap out of me. But she loved my husband. He was, and I quote, her favorite human.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
So they went and got their hair done together every 3 weeks. And he'd get his hair cut while she was having the color put on. And then they'd go out to lunch. And then I'm so sorry I'm boo-hooing on you. And he's a retired SWAT commander. So he's just such a good sport. He'd take her out for ice cream if she was a good girl after doctor's appointments. Like I took her to girly doctor's appointments, but like basic stuff, they'd go do it because when I was in the car with her initially, I was the complaints department. And being locked in a car with her for like a doctor's office, 45 minutes, whatever. Oh my God. No, seriously, my husband would remind me to take Xanax on the way there.
That's so funny.
He realized she doesn't do that to him. She just adores him. My mom liked men. I mean, she wasn't like a floozy or anything. She wasn't a strumpet. She was
Wait, a what? A strumpet?
She wasn't a strumpet.
I've never heard that one.
Oh, you can't be a strumpet.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look that one up.
I bet you that's a Gilded Age term. And so anyway, my mom was just the best. And she loved my husband. And I was really lucky I had those 3 years with her that I had once she got settled in here. And there's also the side of it where my mom's, one of her best friend's husbands had Alzheimer's and then suddenly developed pancreatic cancer. So the one that kills everybody fast. Pancreatic cancer. And he was a judge. A good friend. He was like another dad to me. And when Judge McAuliffe got sick with pancreatic cancer, it was like, God, this is so unfair. He's just starting to show his Alzheimer's, right?
Yeah.
But then he suddenly died fast. And as a result, he never didn't know his children. He never didn't know his grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
And all these generations who thought this judge was just the wisest man and the nicest man, they never had to see him not as that person. And so I think there are blessings and curses in how this all works. I wish I had had so many more years with my mom. But, I mean, The last time I went out to dinner with my mom was her birthday right before I left for Author Nation. And we showed up to pick her up, and she walked out wearing the same outfit I was wearing. Wasn't quite identical. We were both in like white capris with floral pattern. We were both wearing white blouses, and we were both wearing Teeks ballet flats in 2 different colors.
I love it.
So, I don't know. I hope my mom is watching. And I've got a book coming out this fall where the therapist I went to talk to, because I was having so much trouble talking about my mom, she told me I had to go write a letter to my mother. But I had just,
a good thing.
Right, but I had just had a shoulder replacement. And my arm was in an immobilizer.
Oh, fun. And that's your right arm. Are you
my right arm. And I'm right-handed.
Right. Of course you are.
Of course I am. And so the thing is that I'm from the kind of family where you must handwrite all your thank you notes.
Oh, dang.
Okay? Like, truly. Like, we know the rules. We used to jokingly refer to my mother as Robin Post, like Emily Post. And I just knew this letter had to be handwritten. I couldn't start it. And I got my computer privileges back before I got my writing privileges, because computer, you can just set your arm there. And,
right.
But with writing, you got to be able to actually move.
Yeah.
And I couldn't write. And like a couple weeks in a row, the therapist asked me if I had written the letter. And I think she thought I was crazy, because I was like, I cannot type it. I mean, I know I need to write it, but I can't type it. And I was having a good cry at my desk one day, and I got frustrated. And I started typing. I started writing a story. And I talked about, the story is fiction. It's not about my family. It's about a patriarchal society family, but it's not about mine. Mm-hmm. And it's about 3 generations of women who lived through that construct. But the first 2 generations of women had Alzheimer's.
Okay.
And so the story is told through the eyes of these 3 generations of women. And they come from a family, it's called Thicker Than Blood. And
I like
the story
the name.
It's in this family, power and influence, money and influence are far more important than anything else.
Yeah.
So that is coming out in October, and it is my first standalone novel.
October is a great month.
I know. Well, my publicist told me that dark family stories do well in the fall.
Well, and it's my birthday. So.
Is it? When's your birthday?
October 3rd.
Well, the book comes out the 10th, so I have to remember to send you an author copy.
Perfect. That's Canadian Thanksgiving.
Ooh, well, how exciting.
Well, I think that's the Saturday of that weekend. But
do you guys eat turkey?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I don't like turkey, but yeah. I like ham.
The rest of the country eats it, right? Like
the rest of the country eats it. Turkey's
is also
the thing.
your Thanksgiving food?
Yeah. Our food looks like, when you watch TV and stuff, our food is the same. Same food.
Then what else could there be?
Exactly.
I mean, really, if you were really into Thanksgiving, you would take advantage and celebrate it in both countries.
Right? I know some people who do. So there you go.
I'll be there in October, Randy.
All right, perfect. We'll have ham, not turkey.
That's okay. Vary it.
Yeah, right? You guys, then I'll come see you. Well, see, I'm so south in Canada, we don't say A too often. Like, once in a while I will.
Yeah, but now you will.
Now I will, just for you. And
now you will,
to call all those people those a-holes.
Exactly. That's your way of saying it without anybody knowing if they haven't watched us.
Right? It's just, hey, what's up, babe? I can't even talk Canadian when I try to think about it. It's all about the stuff.
It's about the loonies and toonies.
Yes. All those. It's about the loonies and I can't do it. See,
you guys have the most fun money on the. Or they have Canadian money is the most fun. I think it's awesome.
Well, I find it so funny because American money is the only money that's all green. The rest of the world is colored. Mm-hmm. So really, you guys have the funny money because the rest of the world have all agreed that
we have boring
is
money.
Fun. You guys do have boring money.
We have the boring money. I mean,
I always have to stop and make sure what bills I've got because they just stick together and they're the same.
But pretty much around the world, everybody wants the green.
Well, I would well, that's because green is 20s here.
What color are your hundreds?
Brown. I would like the brown money, actually.
I would like the brown money, too.
Yeah, I would like the brown money. I would like the whatever colors the euros are. Euros are even more. That's the money.
That's pretty.
Anyways, yeah. So October, your book is coming out, Thicker Than Blood. Where are we gonna buy it?
Oh, it's going to be available everywhere. Um, it'll be at all your standards, and soon we'll be announcing where I'll be signing at stores. But like all my books are on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, that kind of stuff. My first series, the Gem of the Golden Isle series, is very much more lighthearted. It is a
Okay.
fun beach read. If you need pool reading or beach reading this summer, and all my first series is on Kindle Unlimited for the Kindle girlies.
All right.
But I took all the crazy. I saw more than 500 weddings, all the brides. I took all the crap that did, and I fictionalized it to protect their guilty butts. And I
Obviously.
used it. And there's 5 book series, and it's not autobiographical, but I stole from experience.
Oh
Got
yeah.
a young
We all
wedding
do.
planner, loses her job in the Caribbean, goes home to Jekyll Island, starts over, opens a wedding company, starts reconnecting. Good things are happening. Childhood bestie next door is now a full-grown smoking hot state trooper. Things are going
Mm-hmm.
well. Weird shit starts happening. Flowers disappear. Vendors aren't responding. Just as the big wedding's about to happen,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen now? Spoiler alert: there's 5 books. She survives, but it's really neat because each of the books has a mystery suspense element to it. I
Okay.
can't say they're all cozy mystery because 3 and 4 get into like human trafficking and get a little dark. Not too detailed, but some
Yeah.
darker themes. But there's always a mystery and suspense. And there's sort of a overall story arc of falling in love with a member of law enforcement because that is a totally different kind of life and relationship. And I kind of bring
Mm-hmm.
out my cop wifey side on that. And then really, I'm sorry, but I giggled through writing the books. And I think people probably laugh out loud because I get all these messages being like, that didn't really happen, did it? And I'm like, bet me. I'll show you a picture. Like, did a
Oh my
dog really eat
gosh.
the wedding rings? No, a dog really ate the engagement ring. I mean, I have an
Oh,
x-ray to prove it.
that's
Like,
hilarious.
Randy, you can't make these things up.
Well,
Like, you
and this is
couldn't.
why we have to pull from experience, is because you can't make them up. This is how it goes.
Life is stranger than fiction.
It is. It totally is. That's why I don't have to write fiction. I just write nonfiction because it's just as crazy.
True. I mean, but I'm having fun with this. And, I took a turn to the dark side because I've always been a massive V.C. Andrews fan, that
Mhm.
sort of genre. I mean, I love mystery and suspense. Book 3 in the Gem of the Golden Isles, it's called Treasure on Jekyll. It won a 2025 International Impact Book Award for mystery and suspense in women's fiction.
Ooh.
So there, I mean, there's that, but it's funny. And this other series, I've always, the first Flowers in the Attic book. Do you remember the cover? It was like that
Okay.
big
Yeah.
dark roof with the window, and you could see the
Yeah.
flowers in the attic.
Yeah.
I had that in my head when I invented this fictional family. And then I inserted Alzheimer's, which just makes everything ugly. But I
Mhm.
do think it's something that is more and more prevalent in people my age's lives these days, or, middle
For
age.
sure. Yeah.
More and more people are being diagnosed earlier. And I mean, that's part of why, what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
But,
I think we're recognizing the signs more and more.
well, and they don't just say dementia and park you in a nursing home as fast.
It's true, which is nice. You know.
So, um, but it's been a challenge and I'm bouncing back and I'm doing all kinds of cool and exciting things, but I'm really excited about the book stuff.
It's going to be very exciting. And if you ever do any book signings up this way, I mean,
Find somebody who wants to have me and I will come because I've never been to Niagara Falls.
tell Mickey that he should just make an Niagara Falls event because that's what everybody says. And we could just all
Okay.
go there together. I mean,
Okay,
how
writing
freaking
myself
cool.
a sticky note.
Do it. How
Tell
fun would that
Mickey
be?
Niagara Falls. All
Mickey
right,
from
darling.
Creative Edge, he is fabulous. He is both of our publicists.
He's
Actually.
amazing.
He's so awesome.
Randy, we're doing a Gilded Pages Seaside Literary Festival down here next August. Perhaps you should be
Amazing.
down here.
Perhaps I should.
We're going to have a podcasters row.
We'll chat some more when we say goodbye because we
Absolutely.
do need to say goodbye, everyone. I know it's sad. Time flies when you're having fun, especially when you've got ADD and blah, 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 and me together. Right? See words. I've lost them all now. But we're definitely going to invite Sandy back again because, I mean, there's a lot more to get to. This was just really the tip of the iceberg, I think. Let's see how much we can make her cry. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe a little bit. Maybe not.
You know what? Check out our show, Wedding Island. It still streams on like Tubi and all the Discovery things.
Oh, nice.
Because I look like such a witch in it. There are people who'd be like, good, they made her cry.
Oh my gosh, and you were so sweet. I love that actually.
Well,
It's
you met
amazing.
me before you watched it. That's good.
It's amazing what like reality TV and stuff can actually do to people.
Pretty sure it's why my mother moved to Florida.
I love that. So again, thank you for coming on. You were definitely invited back for this joyous time. Everybody who is listening, make sure that you share the interviews out. You know, we talk about serious stuff and we have fun while we do it. And I think this is our first time really delving into some Alzheimer's stuff. So that's kind of really cool after 5 years. I mean, we've talked about a lot of stuff. That one's a bit of a new one for us, which is I like it. I like it. So share it out.
Had you forgotten to talk about? Sorry. That was bad.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Really bad. That was like a dad joke.
I love dad jokes, though. My favorite joke. I've said it on the show before, but I'm saying it for you. Why can't a T-Rex clap? No, because it's dead.
You didn't.
I
You
did.
did.
It's my favorite joke ever.
I'm going to come up with some really good ones for you next time.
Perfect. I love that so much.
I'm on this. Randy, it was so much fun. Thank you very much for inviting me.
You're so welcome. Hit the like and subscribe button, everybody. And remember, the only way to end the stigma of mental health is to speak openly and honestly.